Hey guys, welcome to another session of RBTL. This week, not much in terms of additional content other than the side story and the banner. So we have Vildred again. Vildred was on global server, at least, was released pretty much I think like really close after like Destina. Originally he was pretty bad, but then he got a developer's buff, and then all the way until now I would say that he's pretty solid. I would definitely recommend, if you're a new player, take this opportunity to pull on his banner. And then again, there is that pity on every single banner now, so I think it's definitely worth it. I myself, I do own a Vildred, and even after just a bit of this discussion, we're gonna jump into the gameplay. Just gonna again demonstrate. I have demonstrated Vildred over and over, but I recently rebuilt him to make him farm faster for me. So we'll go through like some of his core benefits. I think as a new player, even a mid-tier player, even an end-game player. But yeah, anyway, so skill-wise, I'll just do some descriptions reading here, and then we'll get into the gameplay. So the S1 rapidly attacks two enemies with a sword storm. Damage dealt proportional to the caster's speed. Now, a lot of the times, a lot of people, read that and then they build him straight on speed set. The thing about Vildred is that he's such a good cleaver or AoE damage dealer, and he's a really good cleanup, that you kind of want him a bit slower than the rest of your setup. So for example, someone that can do an attack buff on the first turn, someone that could do a defense break on the enemies in PvP or PvE. So having Vildred like super fast may not be that beneficial, even though you see that, oh, it's proportional to the caster's speed. He works really well with the team to set him up, and then once the team has set him up, once he gets a kill, he becomes like a train pretty much. The momentum has to pick up, and then he becomes really good. But the thing is, his charge up time is not super long, so not like Charlotte, which takes like a couple more turns, or lucky dual attacks to get her into where you want her to be. Vildred apologies, I'm a bit sick as I'm recording this, but Vildred at this point is really good for raids as well. For regular farming in general, he'll do really well. He'll suffer a bit, I think, in boss fights, particularly like maybe things like Abyss, Hall of Trials, or stuff like that. Because of his low HP. But anyway, we'll get into that in a bit. Anyways, S2 Dancing Blade is a passive skill, but it's a packed passive skill, and I really do think that they buffed this. They buffed the S2. It really changed how he worked from like a skippable hero to a hero that you would likely want. And we're just gonna read the After Awakening portion. So increases attack of the caster for 2 turns. So that's an attack buff. It's a dispellable attack buff, just keep that in mind, for 2 turns, and then attacks all enemies with 1 more time when an enemy is defeated by sweep or blade ascent. So it's basically another cleave, AoE attack, if you kill anyone with your S1 or your S2, which is amazing. It's a very low damage compared to S1 and S2, but still very good. And then there's a period, and it says increases combat readiness of the caster by 20% when an enemy is defeated. That's a separate section to the passive, so that works even if you your allies or your teammates, the rest of the team, kill off anyone. So he'll get the 20% CR push every time someone is dead. So it doesn't have to be Vildred killing them, it can be someone else, which is quite amazing. The other thing is that this passive does proc in terms of the AoE attack if you somehow get a dual attack, and Vildred does sweep and kills off an enemy, and he still gets the passive effects. So very good. And you guys will see as I'll demonstrate this again in game. You guys will see this. And then the S3 attacks all enemies with a sword storm, dealing damage dealt proportion of the caster's speed. Again, you see that, and if you look at the damage formula or the damage mod, I have the data mine pulled up. I'll just read it out. 0.85 for the S1, 0.85 damage mod for the S3. Soul Burning becomes a 1.1, so it becomes very strong. 10 soul burn for an AoE of 1.1. Now in this current meta right now, so we have like a couple like pretty recent cleavers. Vivian being one of them. Vivian's cleaving skill is a lot stronger than Vildred. I think it's 1.2 times if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, this is besides the point. 1.1 isn't super strong, especially after Soulburn. 0.85 is a bit low. So Vildred, like I said, he's not like a BBK. He's not like a J Kisei where they're really, well, J Kisei doesn't count. She's a 2-turn cleaver really, but not like BBK was like a 1-turn cleaver. So in terms of PvP cleaving, I think Vildred at this point is falling a bit off. But it's still not to say that he's bad, because I still see people running dual cleavers, and Vildred is usually one of them. He's a really good cleanup, or at least he's a really good cleaver to start off the damage. But generally people do run him as the last cleaver if you're running dual cleaver setups, since his passive, right? So if you, let's say you have a BBK in there and you damage like the enemies down like quite a bit, and if you're lucky enough get 1 or 2 kills, his passive pops in, he gets some CR boost, and then boom, he could do his S3 and maybe get some more kills. And then if there's still one more guy left, he do the S1, oh sorry, the S2 passive, and it procs and it does another AoE. So very good all around, very good. The thing about the speed, like I said, usually people don't build him super fast because he needs some setup. I definitely think that he should be in your team one of the slowest speed heroes, other than maybe if you have someone like C-Dom. But strategically, if you cleave with Vildred and you have crits, C-Dom actually gets to go. Or if you have another cleaver going before Vildred, and like Challenger Dominion has slower base speed than Vildred, then she'll pop up with the amount of crits you do the cleave, pop her up, and then she can do her buff, pop up Vildred again, you know, that kind of stuff. So if you guys haven't seen those kind of cleave teams in a arena, I'm pretty sure it's all out there, so you guys probably have seen Vildred's potential. The speed scaling on the S1 and S3 is 0.075 speed. So in the formula, it even says this in the data mine. So if you guys haven't checked out that data mine, definitely look for it. I think his name is Butt Reynolds. I always find that name pretty funny. But Butt Reynolds does a wonderful job of actually breaking down even how the math works. So he even wrote it 0.00075 times your speed for the skill S1, and then the same thing for the S3. But if you soul burn it, the speed scaling becomes a 0.09. So definitely increase. So if you have like a speed buffer on your team too, that will help his damage. But when we're talking about the speed scaling here, it's as good as Sid's S1, but not good as Sid's S3. Sid's S3 is an amazing speed scaling speed scaling skill. Vildred doesn't have that, but still every bit helps. So Vildred, very solid. We have a side story. I'm gonna cover this last portion here on the powder shop, and then we're gonna jump into the game. So powder shop, yeah, so a couple new 5-stars, of course. Abused Tooth, pretty good, especially if you have Luna. Still stands to be one of the best. Surmia's a pretty good one too with Abused Tooth, because Surmia's a greater attack buff, which is great. Bloodstone, pretty good now. If you have SSB, Bloodstone is one of her best in slot, especially for PvP, but even for PvE, I've used it. Atika Scepter or Tisa Scepter, very good. At this point, I think Luluka might be the one in this meta right now that most benefits from it. If you're talking about Sage, Baal, and Cezanne, perhaps he'll get a buff in the future. But at this point, Atisa Scepter, it still might be Baal and Cezanne's best artifact, maybe Abyssal Crown, but at this point, it might not be a super high priority. Now, Noble Oath coming back, it's pretty interesting because after Noble Oath got its buff, Noble Oath became one of those pretty decent artifacts, I would have to say, especially if you're using it as a bait. So people have been running like counter Bruiser F Maya builds with Noble Oath, taking in like GVG fights and whatnot as a bait unit. And you know, Assassin Cully, because after Assassin Cully's buff, she becomes very, very strong. Easily can actually kill F Maya if you don't heal quick enough. But Noble Oath can be really helpful if you're trying to kill off those 8 Cullys on a counter set fighter Maya with high crit damage, because Noble Oath, as her HP drops, Noble Oath increases her defense, and F Maya's defense scaling is just insane. So if you really want to take advantage of that, of course, I think Noble Oath at this point, with what I have personally, I think Noble Oath is more of a temptation for me to get. But I think I might skip this round in general. The rest are pretty good too, of course. Kaladra, very good. Infinity Basket, Moonlight Dreamblade, one of the best thief artifacts right now. I mean, it's not just Violet using it, but a ton of thieves, especially on the defense side, use it, because Moonlight Dreamblade brings some RNG aspect. And yes, if players swap an Oath key, it lowers their output damage. So you kind of want to put, if you have a defense team and you're thinking about defense teams, got to think about those kind of strategies. Put them at a disadvantage as best as you can, since you are running technically AI on your defense team. And of course, Wondrous Potion Vial, invaluable resource for multiple types of fights. So if you're talking about PvP, Wondrous Potion Vial is like a must. If you can, you have to max limit break it, max enhance it. You want that 100% proc rate. And then PvE is also very helpful in many scenarios. So definitely a really good powder shop, this list. I would say, yeah, Moonlight Dreamblade, Wondrous Potion Vial. The 5-star ones are all good, but Noble Oath, I think, is like kind of getting my eye there, because the rest of them I have more. Because since when Noble Oath sucked, I powdered it a lot. Now of course we regret it. You want to keep as much artifacts as possible now going forward, since you don't know how Smilegate will begin to buff. Anyways, we're gonna jump into the game. I'm gonna quickly do a kind of a Vildred showcase, not so much a PvP one, but yeah, not so much a PvP one, but mainly a PvE one. Like I said, I think in PvP I've shown him before. But anyways, let's do this. So let's do a couple hunts. I'm gonna do one. Let me do this actually. I'm gonna do one normal farming as well, and I think that will showcase him enough. So again, like I said, I think free to play. Definitely consider him. I'm gonna do a one-shot Banshee. I think this is pretty good. I'll show my gear and his stats I'm running right now. But yeah, hopefully that's oof. This is always gotta clean up my box before I do showcases. I'm gonna keep this in the video because this is a Jag and derp quality. Derp quality. Alright, let's do this. I'm gonna try to and then next it'll probably say equipment is maxed. It's always. I'm gonna leave it. This is like signature Jagan style. Okay. Do this. Should be good. I think it's my Morning Forest of Souls. I'll do one more. I'll promote this one. Yeah. Yeah, that should be good. That should be good. Okay, let's go. So one shot Banshee, and I'll do an Azimatic run, and then I think I'll do an Adventure. Okay, I didn't prop the equipment thing. So yeah, so as you know, as I'm recording this, yeah, one shot Banshee is definitely a goal for mid-tier players, end game players. You want to get that. Definitely invaluable resource, and Vildred is one of those really good cleavers that you could build up. Very easy to build, and I will note something after. Oh shoot! Wait. Okay, no. I did something wrong. I must have changed changed my speed, so today is not that good. Somehow my Vildred is slower than my Cleary. That doesn't make sense. Hold on. Why is my Cleary so fast now? That doesn't make sense. Unless I just got the unluckiest speed roll. They're like close. Oh crap. I'll try it again. This would be helpful actually. This would be helpful if I actually pull for another Vildred. See the speed. No, the speed imprint actually would be not that good.
Unleash.
There you go. I think now this is right. There you go. Now the speed tuning is right. You can see they're really close. I got unlucky. I got really unlucky. There you go. Now that makes sense. gotta speed tune it a bit more. Recently rebuilt Vildred, so the rest of the team had to follow suit in terms of speed tuning. So that was pretty bad.
How dare you?
Yeah, so Vildred goes first. Okay, so that's right. But you can see like Vildred and Cleary there, they're too close. I shouldn't risk that. And then just watch me don't get the defense break. I didn't get the defense break. Okay. This is not good, man. This is not good. People watch people like law F. Okay, let's do it again, man. What the frick, man? Just, I swear, I don't need to reset this. Oh, look at that Vildred and Cleary. Okay, I swear this is not gonna get me another defense break. Yeah, I need to re-speed tune this. I rushed the. Okay, no excuses, no excuses. I failed. Okay, I failed, but I rushed the Vildred build because of the drop rate event last week. So I didn't really like. The guys on stream is like RIP. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Yeah, my speed tuning is bad. My biking is too fast. That's also another problem. If my biking was a bit slower with the gear I have. Feels bad, man. There you go. Okay. This should be it. This should be it. So bad. And then watch me now fail Azimanic. Just like really bad RNG. Wave 1, they'll kill off my Vildred. Just watch it. It's gonna happen. Okay. Alright, let's do this. Let's go back. I'm gonna keep it organic, man. No editing. This is what you guys want, man. This is what you guys want. Okay. Alright, Azimanic. For this one, ML Zerato in front with Isla Violin. Tamarin with Potion Vial. So yeah, keep that in mind. All connected. Part of the context of the news. Bologna, I think on Rosa right now. She's not even that well built. To be honest, I should give more love to Earth Bologna. I like running Seaside Bologna more, but Seaside Bologna's extra debuffs don't really help. Especially ML Zerato transfers back a bleed. Montgomery says, hunts for me are so bad. I'll go in half the day with no defense breaks at all, and then one run I'll get every single time. Oof. Yeah, I could get really RNG. And the thing is, I actually worked a lot on my Vildred, so I have no RNG. So he will get the. So when I used to run Banshee, he had like a slightly lower chance to get a crit on a Banshee. Even though they're ice, technically he has an elemental advantage. But I rebuilt him so he has a 100% crit chance on Banshee 11. But yeah, I just got unlucky with the speed tune and the defense break, so feels bad. I will say this, the commentary as we're doing this hunt is that the Vildred is like made for Azimanic. He's too good. Like basically anything he does, he will keep his attack buff up, as you guys will watch this. I love running Azimanic because it is, I think, one of the places I'll probably never replace Vildred. In the past, I have tried to replace Vildred as the cleaver, and no one can do what he can do on this one. The 2-turn attack buff is just vital for this. As Azimanic keeps summoning the eggs, he will pretty much always get his attack buff up, which makes, you know, unless you're doing Azimanic one-shot teams, Vildred is by far one of the best. It doesn't matter if you're, you know, a new player having Vildred. Once you got Vildred, it really unlocks a lot of potential. Because I feel every single other cleaver, if you're talking about Vivian, people run like Tenebria, Kayron. If you're talking about every single other cleaver for Azimanic, I feel that they're just the substitute they're just a substitute until you can get Vildred, and that's how vital I think Vildred is on this one. Except that D-spell and the silence, yeah, you're gonna lose your attack buff, but seriously, like that, and just amazing. Just amazing. You get a dual attack, like I said. If the eggs are spawned, you get a dual attack, and you kill them. You'll get the attack buff, and you'll get the passive again. Another good thing is that keep in mind that when Vildred does attack on AI auto, of course he will attack the boss as priority. On mobs or in PvP, he'll attack nah, this is not good. He'll attack the lowest HP as priority. So because the skill reads attacks like two enemies, I just have to keep that in mind for like especially like newer players who may be wondering how his S1 is working. So every time you manually click, that's a designated hit there, and then it will randomly select another one. If it's on an AI and you're running like let's say a farming run, so let's go actually do a farming run here. Don't know. Let me try. Oh yeah, I was gonna farm a red lily shelter here. So this one, 6-9. So it doesn't have any elemental advantage on this, as you can see the enemies on the right. It doesn't have ice. Now, actually, I'm gonna use Vinny here, one of my guildmates, his Arbiter Vildred, because in terms of like farming, like catalyst farming, outside of Arbiter Vildred, Earth Vildred is the next best thing. I would say at this moment, if you can one-shot any type of like adventure or side story, Arbiter Vildred is the best cleaver farmer, since he resets his AoE every time you actually get a kill. But or actually when you kill with the S3 rather. But Vildred, Earth Vildred is pretty much just as good. The only downside is of course elemental disadvantage. So if you're farming one with heavy fire enemies on the enemy team, it's not that good. So let me just pull up in Vildred here. As people know that oh yeah, I'm farming a regular Clary for the one-shot Banshee, so she doesn't need to see the S3 animation. Lol. One of the things that you guys probably have heard is that Vildred is a really good dog walker, and what that means is that usually he himself soloing should be able to farm 3 fodders at a time. But we are in I think we're in world difficulty. Yeah, we're in world difficulty, but I'm gonna use Vinny here anyway, and I'm probably gonna manually swap Vinny in because because I want to show you guys the difference here. Ah, crap, he's too fast. So he's most likely gonna clear. Yeah, okay, unless I don't get a crit, which I got lucky in this case. No, he'll kill them off. Never mind. Yeah, see, you can't even stop him from farming. I'm gonna try manually in this. I want to get Vinny in here, but most likely he's just gonna one-shot everything. Oh nope, I got lucky. Okay, there you go. Now Vinny can join, but it's kind of too late because
nothing to say.
it's kind of too late. My vote is too good. My vote is too strong. Anyways, but you can see my point, right? Like, even though I said Arbiter Vildred is a better farmer, I mean, it really... There you go. So, because Vinny killed off... Oh my goodness! Holy crap, that team play. Dang. Impressed. Okay, Vinny's Arbiter Vildred is faster, so... Oh no! Yes. Okay, see? So, Arbiter Vildred, once you do the S3, you kill... It resets it. So, you could do it again. So, as you can see there, even though we didn't get a double cleave on that, Arbiter Vildred is better. And again, like I said, no elemental disadvantage, so he will never miss. He'll literally never miss. I'll use Bad Scylla here. It doesn't really matter, but if I actually allow my Vildred to do his work, he'll be fine. The only thing lacking, of course, is my Vildred is running at a, I think, 85% crit rate, which is enough if you have an elemental advantage or if you get really lucky. But as you can see, I'm not. So like on 1 out of 4 there, it's treating it like a 75% crit rate. 1 out of 4 there, he's not gonna crit. Thanks for the friend points, as Basil. Yeah, no problem, bro. I got you covered.
Dancing blade.
Oh, Mipples made a comment here, and
feels good to keep improving.
She said the farm with MLCC because you guys saw it. No, my MLCC can one-shot cleave these guys. So she's a really good farmer. And also I'm farming her friend points. But I had to insert that, even though you're joking, Mipples, I had to insert that because flex reasons. So as you can see, really quick farming with Vildred, with three doggos, or three fodder technically, leveling up that regular cleary. So I don't really think I need to showcase that anymore. I'm not going to showcase him in arena on this one. In GVG, I will say I hardly use him. The one thing is it takes too much setup for GVG at this point, unless you have Oxlots. But if you have a better cleaver, I think in GVG, Vildred is a bit not that, he's not that good. Let me see if in arena, maybe some people attacked me with Vildred, so I can kind of just show it. But yeah, okay, so you see there is, so look, I'm not gonna do it myself because I don't have a really good cleave comp, but you could see Earth Vildred still being used in arena cleave comps, as you can see. And so I was exactly right. So pretty much dual. You'll see Earth Vildred mainly used in dual cleave comps, right there. So you see that Yen 22, you get a shout out. Vildred, C Mercedes, and then Oxlots and C-Dom. So dual cleaving teams, vital to have. Oh, this guy is insane. This guy's got technically a triple cleave comp. It must be a quick Arbiter Vildred setup for Earth Vildred there, because I don't see how that can really work unless he's just aiming for. So for Calvin S, unless he's aiming for extremely slow. So most likely it's Vivian going first, Arbiter Vildred, pop up C-Dom. yeah, probably, or C-Dom after Vivian. But anyways, regardless, Earth Vildred probably is the last on that one. And there's this Dasen. My Chinese sucks. I think that's Die or something. Anyways, it's like Big God something. He's running Vildred with J Kisei, but I'm pretty sure most of the time he's running that Vildred as just an extra cleave, because how that would work is most likely Oxlots into J Kisei, double cleave, get C-Dom up, and then C-Dom nuke someone out with her crit buff and CR push. So it makes Vildred super strong, and Vildred gets multiple CR pushes at that point if people are dead. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. Don't think Vildred would have an attack buff on that rotation unless he gets the kill on his first cleave. But anyways, even just going through this, I didn't even know who attacked me. You can see that Vildred is heavily used still for the dual cleave comps I was talking about. So definitely makes him really good. Very last thing I want to show again is my build, but then also his base attack. Just want to show his base attack very high. 1283. I think that's as high as a thief can get at this point. I think 1300 is like a Tenebria mage, and then Sirmia warrior. I think this is as high as you can get, but this is very high. His health is actually still really high though. I gotta note this, 5138. You don't want to kind of overlook that, and the speed is there. Not the fastest thief, but just enough. So very well rounded. Of course, he has no effectiveness, and you shouldn't build him with effectiveness. He should have 0 effectiveness if you're going for pinpoint, stats. So I'll show my build now at the very end now, but Mola investment. This is important too, because we recently got a Mola refund. So maybe you've got the benefits of the Mola refund. If you're a new player, this doesn't apply to you as much. But S3, 100% you need to max this. I would say that S2, usually you don't need to really worry about maxing it unless you're talking about PvE scenarios. For PvP, technically he should be able to clean up with minimal investments, like a +3 S2. If you can't, the rest of the Mola is not going to really save you. You're doing something wrong either in the build or your team setup. Usually if he is the second cleaver, they should be dead by the time he does the S3. But just in case, I suppose, yes, if you really love it, you should max it. I got this +4 mainly because I thought that, you know, he was awesome. I wanted him for so long, and I got him one day, and I'm like, oh, Vildred! And then, so I just went ham mode, but he's not bad. He's not bad. I would say the S1 might be more important than the S2 in terms of +5ing it, but even myself, I left him at a +3. Again, I use him mainly for farming, and so I don't feel that the S1 and mainly because of the farming, I think the S1 is a bit better than the S2 because you really want to keep up that momentum I was talking about. And as you guys saw in my my showcase there, imprint wise, this is one of the best imprints in the game. Up to 12 speed, AoE, very strong. So that's why I said that I might be pulling for maybe a imprint or two. Very beneficial for some team setups. Of course, that would mean I would have to re-speed tune. Here are my stats. This is the gear I was running, as you guys saw there. 2 T88. I'm running this one with a high crit damage. This one just mainly for the crit chance. But like I said, effectiveness is not needed on him at all. So ideally, you want gear that can funnel all attack, crit damage, crit chance, speed, health if you really care about that. But I think the main stats are really attack, attack speed, crit chance, crit damage. This one was free, so everybody should have that if you've played it. This one, again, could it be better? It could be better if it has, like, you know, speed, crit chance, crit damage. That'd be great. Effectiveness is really high on that one, so one day that would be changed. Attack, so like I said, because he has high base attack, you do kind of want to run him on an attack set. You want to really scale that. It will scale a lot, and so if you do run like a 65% attack, 60 attack on the right side, it will give him a lot of benefit. His weapon here, 24 attack, 7 speed, and then crit damage. So it makes him just kind of like good enough. I think if you're talking about speed, again, you have to speed tune to the team you want to use him in. But if you're talking about speed, I think like 140, 150 speed is enough. Anything higher than that, you're really setting yourself up for a challenge. Because like I said, you want the rest of the heroes going before him. So like, unless you're just insanely lucky with speed rules and speed gear, it's not going to be super effective for everything you do. And again, I'm running Tonfa on him because it's a cheap artifact for him to clear wave 1 of Banshee. It works enough. I don't need to portrait him because of the stats I got him to. He's able to do it. Oh, I'm at 84. Okay, so so on an ice hero or ice unit or ice enemy, he'd have 99% crit chance. So I guess I still have 1% crit chance. So it would have been bad if I failed that Banshee 11 run with 1% missing. Anyways, I'm gonna end that there. Hopefully that was been helpful with the live showcase, with some explanation on Molagora gear, what kind of team comps you should run him in, and so hopefully that's helpful. I'm gonna end this one here. So hopefully if you guys pull Vildred, get him quick. If you want to go for multiples, I think he's one of those 5-star heroes that are actually worth for the imprint, because that speed imprint is really good, especially on those arena comps that I just showed. Most likely, if they don't have Vildred with an imprint already, they're going to, because if Vildred is the slowest, is the last person to go, his speed imprint will benefit every single hero on that team, because it's balanced. So they don't need to re-speed tune it, unless they're doing something very specific, but otherwise it's very, very good. Anyways, like I said, I'll end this here now. If you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server. Follow me on Twitter and subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on the next Reading Between the Lines.